From red flags to K-Mags, F1 fans enjoy a lot of things, but they really hit the apex when it comes to the details. My name is Ruby Price, welcome to Grid Talk, and this is a fun little game I'm calling 2 Secs. Joining me today we have Tom Horrox.
Hello.
Owain Medford.
Hello.
And as a special guest, Josh Weller.
Hi.
Hello, all of you. Tom, you were on the pilot for this format, but for the benefit of Owain and Josh, as well as the people watching at home, I'll give a quick rundown of the rules, which are actually quite simple. I have a grid of statements about Formula One. The aim for the contestants is to find out what is wrong with those statements. The person who guesses correctly will get the point, but only if their correction is preceded with the phrase 2 secs. Actually style, if you don't say it, you don't get the point. The other rule is that you can buzz in at any time, you can interrupt me, you don't have to wait for me to finish. If someone gets the answer incorrect or does not say 2 secs, there will be an opportunity to buzz in and try to steal the point for that round. Sound clear?
Yep.
Fantastic.
All good.
Let's get on to our first statement, and this is about the Australian Grand Prix. The opening round in Australia set the narrative for the remainder of the season. A dominant race for McLaren saw Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri finish 1-2 ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen in third. Tom Horrox has buzzed in.
2 secs. I do not believe Oscar Piastri was in second place. It was Max Verstappen, was it not?
That is correct. You've won the first point of the game. Whilst McLaren did start off strong, Piastri ended up falling back to ninth after following his more experienced teammate into the grass in intermediate conditions, and Max Verstappen overtaking Piastri for P2. George Russell did nothing, finished the race in third. You know, the narrative of the season, arguably. We'll move on to Japan. Mercedes rookie Kimi Antonelli made history at the 39th Japanese Grand Prix. He did this by leading the race and setting the fastest lap. At the time, he was the youngest driver to do so at the age of 19 years and 44 days.
2 secs. I believe he was actually 18 years.
You are correct there, Owain.
Yes. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. The age specified was that of the previous youngest fastest lap record holder, Max Verstappen, and Kimi was only 18 and 255 days, which is very young. As someone who turned 30 this year, F1 drivers should not be 18 years old whilst they're driving around that, expensive material at the very least.
At least not the same age as Fernando Alonso.
Let's move on to Bahrain. The 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix was notably later in the year, having previously kick-started the F1 season since 2021. The race didn't go so well for Carlos Sainz and Nico Hülkenberg, who both retired due to damage sustained in a collision with Yuki Tsunoda. Tom Horrox has buzzed in.
I think 2 secs. I think that first. Then... So 2 secs. Nico Hülkenberg was disqualified, did not finish.
It's a good job you said 2 secs, because that is the correct answer.
Oh.
These
I've learned my lessons, Ruby.
True so far, all of these could be true. This is how much I've forgotten about this incredibly long season.
It's a long season.
This is actually the reason that they should lower the number of races. Just this.
Yeah.
Just for this game.
This one specific episode of a podcast at the end of the season. Yeah, absolutely. Carlos Sainz did have a clash with Yuki Tsunoda, which caused his retirement. But as Tom rightfully pointed out, Hülkenberg was disqualified because of, guess what? Excessive skid wear. Another narrative of the season, which I'm sure will never come up once again.
I have a feeling I'm going to do really badly in this.
Jack Doohan's final race for Alpine came at the Miami Grand Prix. The young Australian driver finished a lowly 17th position, prompting the team to replace him with the Argentine Franco Colapinto at the following Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Owain's buzzed in.
2 secs. I believe he actually only completed fewer races than that. I believe it was only 2 races, not 3 or 4, sorry.
That's not correct, but Josh has buzzed in.
2 secs. Wasn't it 3 races? Was he not kicked out after 3?
No, I think what's happening is you're all confusing this with another driver. Tom Horrox has buzzed in.
I don't believe he finished that race.
You are correct. He didn't even make it through the first lap after colliding with Liam Lawson in the first corner, which gave him some wheel damage. So that is a point to Tom Horrocks. A bit of a score rundown at the moment. That is Tom in the lead with 3, Owain with 1, and Josh with 0. A big old goose egg.
Yes.
He's doing the Alpine challenge. It's how few points can you get across the entire episode.
Yeah, I'm going to collar-pinto this.
So what you're saying is you're going to come this close if we talk about the Netherlands and then never again. Let's talk about the Monaco Grand Prix. The introduction of a mandatory two-stop strategy for the 2025 Monaco Grand Prix was meant to make the race more exciting. This was in reaction to the race the year before. The resulting excitement meant every driver who finished in the top 5 was in the same position they started the Grand Prix after 78 laps.
2 secs. I don't believe it was the top 5. I think I'm going to go with the top 6 that was actually all in the position they started with.
That's not the correction I'm looking for.
2 secs.
Josh Busden.
The top 5, it wasn't the same as the starting grid.
That is correct. I will give you the point unless someone can be more specific. In fact, if you want to take a punt at
2
it.
secs. Yeah, it was Max and Lewis that swapped.
You've got one of the drivers out of the thing, so I will give you the point for that at the very least, because as I say, you got the correction. The only driver to not start but finish in the top 5 was Lewis Hamilton, who lined up on the grid in P7 but was able to overcut Fernando Alonso and Isaac Hadjar after pitting on lap 18. And I think we all agree that the mandatory two-stop was not the one.
Yeah, it's what all F1 fans love, isn't it? Overcutting.
Yeah.
Undercutting instead of racing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We love that. Yeah, there's more of that, Because obviously it worked in Qatar as well.
I heard there were no overtakes in Qatar.
Something like that, yeah.
Right, let's talk about the Spanish Grand Prix, where two-time world champion and famous rookie Fernando Alonso had to wait until his home Grand Prix at the Circuit de Catalunya before earning his first point of the 2025 F1 season. The run equaled his worst start to a season since rejoining Alpine in 2021.
2 secs. I don't believe that's his worst start to the season. Wouldn't his first start to the season be 2015 with the McLaren Honda?
Since Alpine, though. Since he rejoined Alpine.
No, it is in fact actually Owain was correct. It was the 2015 season, in that cursed McLaren Honda and not scoring until the British Grand Prix that season. Yes, he's not officially a rookie. He hasn't been since starting with Minardi way back in 2001, but it has been a meme amongst the F1 fandom. So if people had gone for that, I would have given it. But obviously you're all just there like, hang on a sec, Fernando's obviously a rookie. He's so young and youthful, with a lot of patience as well, right? And let's get on to the British Grand Prix. As a bunch of Brits ourselves, this is where the best race of the season happened, with all of that British bias that we always exude. Nico Hulkenberg broke the record for most races before scoring a podium finish after finally finishing in 3rd at the British Grand Prix. After waiting 239 races for his first podium, he took the record from its previous holder, Martin Brundle, who had to wait 8... Tom Horrox has buzzed in.
2 secs. I don't think the record was Martin Brundle. I think it was... I can't remember who it was now, but I don't think it was Martin Brundle.
You are correct. It was not Martin Brundle. It was, in fact, Carlos Sainz, who would have to wait until the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix, where he finished 3rd. Hard to argue with that. So, as we hit the midpoint of the show, propping up the table in 3rd place is Josh with 1 point. Owain is in 2nd with 2. And top of the standings so far at this provisional point is Tom Horrocks with 4 points. So now it's time for a mini-game, or as I'm calling it, a sprint. Sprints are worth the same amount of points, but they are just a little bit different, something to break up the formula. Now, we all know Lance Stroll. He's a driver known for a collision or two. I have a selection of images of collisions involving the Canadian, but the other driver has been removed. The person who can correctly identify the most number of drivers will win the point. This is a mini-game I'm calling They See Me Strolling. Tom has buzzed in straight away.
I have, but I think I'm wrong. No, I think I'm wrong. I thought that was Max Verstappen, but it's not. It's not. It's that's far too early. And also, I didn't say 2 secs, but there we go.
You don't have to say 2 secs for the minigame, but Josh has buzzed in, beating Owain by 0.3 milliseconds here.
Is that Valtteri Bottas?
It is not Valtteri
Oh,
Bottas, no.
Sake.
He's come back. He's come straight back in again.
Is it Daniil Kvyat?
No, it's not Danny Kvyat either.
So I can just keep guessing.
You could keep guessing as long as you keep buzzing, but Owain has buzzed in to beat you here.
Is that Kimi Räikkönen?
No, it's not quite Kimi Räikkönen. Tom has buzzed in though.
It's Sebastian Vettel.
Yes, it is. It's Sebastian Vettel.
Because you can see the wheel is above the rear wing. Is when he just drifted into him.
It is indeed. Which was after the race had actually finished, which one of the strangest collisions ever, and I don't think either driver knew what happened.
Can I just be be a bit of a nerd and say that this? I think that this is the 2017 Malaysian Grand Prix.
You are such a nerd, Owain.
Shame we can't get the questions right though. Sorry.
Says the person winning.
Yeah.
Round 2 of the mini game, and this is an onboard of Lance Stroll. Josh has buzzed in.
I'm just guessing. That's an Aston Martin. Is that Lando?
It is not Lando Norris now. Owain's buzzed in.
Charles Leclerc.
No, it's not Charles Leclerc either. I'll give you a hint in that you are closer. Charles Leclerc would speak one of the same languages as this driver.
Is it Esteban Ocon?
It is not Esteban Ocon.
Oh my god, I suck at this.
But Owain has buzzed in.
Is it Roman Grosjean?
No, but you are all now circling around the correct country. And Owain comes in once again.
Is it Pierre Gasly?
We found it! It's Pierre Gasly. Do you want to be another nerd again and guess the correct race?
I'm not sure I can do the year, but that's at the Sochi Autodrome, which means that I'm going to go with
Before 2020.
2023. No, it's 2021. Sorry, 2021.
It is 2021, absolutely.
Oh yeah, there was a race in 21, wasn't there?
There was. I believe it was the last
It was the
Russian
last,
Grand Prix.
Yes, it was.
Because Nikita Mazepin got to show off his knowledge of Russian clouds.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just wanted to compliment Owen and Tom for being so good. This
Very
is
kind of you.
Been outside for 8
genuinely, I'm
years.
very, very impressed.
Just watched far too much Formula One. That's not something to brag about.
Yeah, but I watch them and I can't remember any of these things. If
I
you
can't
wanna talk
remember
about
either.
Charles Leclerc's ice cream flavors. I could probably get one of those right.
That I'd never know. So if he ever came round to my house for a dinner party, I'd just serve him like pistachio or something, and he'd be like, "Oh, this is awful."
Does he have a pistachio flavour in his Lek ice cream?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Of
Oh,
course he does.
Mm-hmm.
You'd luck out on that one as well.
I hope it's the next question. I hope the next question is a car crashing into an ice cream truck. Yeah.
Oh, if only. Unfortunately,
well, if
that's
it's
not
an
what Lance Stroll's called.
if it's an Alpine, then potentially.
Oh,
Well,
very good.
This is round 3 of the minigame. And Tom has buzzed in.
I think I might be wrong. Is it Daniel Ricciardo?
You are not wrong. You are 100% correct.
Really? Wow. Was that the one where like Ricciardo went off and then drove into someone, then Stroll went off and drove into someone and complained about Ricciardo driving into him? Something like that. I can't remember the order it happened now.
That was Monza.
Yeah.
Because it was Sebastian Vettel that drove off and then came back on.
Okay.
I almost chose one of those as my answer, but I guess I've just told you that that's not going to be an answer going
There's
forward.
so many to choose from. We'd be here all night.
On to round 4 of the minigame, the penultimate of this minigame. This is the onboard not from Lance Stroll.
Ooh, that's fun.
how well do you know your wheel brow colours?
Mhm.
It looks like it's about to be really bad, doesn't it?
Josh has buzzed in.
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna go with Lando.
It is not Lando.
Of course, it's not. Why would it be?
However, Lando is in that picture just in front of Lance Stroll.
Can I have half a point?
Maybe if no one gets it. In fact, if no one else actually gets it, I will give you that half a point because in this collision, Lance does end up hitting Lando. But it's Owain Medford who's buzzed in.
Go with, based off car colour alone, Liam Lawson.
No, it's not Liam Lawson. Tom, I'll give you an opportunity. to try and swoop this half a point? Or a full point?
Valtteri Bottas.
It is not Valtteri Bottas. Josh, was that a guess that you were about to make?
Is it Ocon?
It's not Ocon, but I will give you that half a point for saying Lando Norris, but it is in actual fact, and this was the, I think, second time these two drivers have had a collision. It's his teammate, Fernando Alonso.
Oh, I nearly said Alonso.
Ah.
Oh, but I thought it was the one where he hit him the rear wheel in Bahrain, wasn't it? I think, and he said, "Who was that guy who hit me?" Don't worry about that.
We will move on to our final mini game round, and the photoshopping skills on display here are top notch. I think you'll all agree. But this is the picture,
How well do you know your cameras?
and Owain has immediately buzzed in. For Josh has even picked up his phone.
Is that Pierre Gasly?
It is not Pierre Gasly. Well, if I tell you it's Owain's buzzed in,
Is it Carlos Sainz?
it is not Carlos Sainz. Josh did buzz in just before I accidentally pressed reset, so go on, Josh.
Is it Lando Norris? One of them's going to be right.
Not for this mini game, unfortunately. It is not Lando Norris. But the
There he
clue
is.
I was going to give.
There he is.
The clue I was going to give was that this happened last season.
What is in 24?
24, yes. And it wasn't during a race.
This could be a free practice driver.
I'll give you all one last chance to guess this. And Josh is going to try for it.
Is it Lando Norris?
You've already guessed Lando Norris.
Not on this
stick-
one, I don't think.
I'm sticking with it.
Josh has only got the Sky Sports feed where it's Lando Norris's face. That's his only. That's the.
He's pressed the red button too many times and it's just stuck on Lando. Go on, Tom. You've buzzed in.
I'm just gonna go Carlos Sainz.
I'm pretty sure someone else has guessed Carlos
I
Sainz in
guessed
this.
it already.
Mate, okay, fine. It was a guess.
Go on, Owain.
I'm gonna go with Esteban Ocon.
It's not Esteban Ocon. It's Lewis Hamilton.
It's my next guess.
This was when Lewis was giving way for Lando. Now I've got Lando on the brain, Josh.
Yes, good.
British bias.
British bias. Now, this was when Lewis was moving out of the way for Lance Stroll. Stroll came along and hit him, and then I believe did it again. That means that from our mini game, the Josh got half of one correct, Owain got one of them, and Tom Horrox got two. So that means that Tom takes the point for the mini game.
I genuinely thought I'd lost that round. Cool.
Well, maybe if you'd guessed Lando Norris for all of them, you might have done. Right, and with that, we will move on to the Belgian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton's first Q1 elimination of 2025 happened in qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix. Only managing to qualify in P16, the 7-time world champion would go on to face a further 4 Q1 eliminations, which all came consecutively at the final. Tom Horrocks has buzzed in.
I'm just going to take a stab at, say, 2 secs. I think he's had more than 5 Q1 exits.
That's not correct. He has not had more than 5.
2 sacks. They didn't come in the last 4 races of the season consecutively.
You're close to the correct thing, so I'll give it to you unless someone else can find a very specific correction.
2 secs. I was going to say Lando Norris, but I'm not going to. It was he had 5. I'm guessing because I just wanted to try and get another point. So he had 5, didn't he? And then the last, it wasn't all in the last 4 races. There was like 2 or 3. Okay, I give up.
It was the final 3 Q1 sessions, but I won't say anything else because Tom has buzzed in.
I think, was it Brazil? He got out of Q1. He went out in Q2 in Brazil. So it was the race before that. So that was the one that interrupted the run. But I didn't say 2 secs.
You also didn't say 2 secs, so that at least helps me make my decision. Because he was only actually eliminated in Q1 4 times in total across the season. But the narrative towards the end of the season obviously very much made it seem like Lewis Hamilton was going out in Q1 every single race of the season. So that is a point to Owain.
I was going to keep going, I'll be honest with you. I thought it was something to do with sprint races.
I mean, he did get eliminated during quite a few SQ ones, but those aren't Q ones,
No.
because that's how pedantic this can be.
I'm really glad I didn't. I'm really glad you stopped that there then.
After a late night playing video games, we heard a short-fused Max Verstappen get angry at race engineer GP at the 2025 Hungarian Grand Prix. Culminating in a collision with Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen was accused of sounding childish and later barred from sim racing during Grand Prix weekends. And Tom Horrocks has buzzed in.
2 secs. I don't think he's been barred from doing sim racing in Grand Prix weekends.
That might be the case, but at the time that was the narrative. But Josh has buzzed in, so I won't give you that point.
2 secs. Was it Lewis Hamilton? I don't. Was it? He didn't hit Lewis Hamilton, did he?
You are correct in that he didn't hit Lewis Hamilton, so I will give you the point unless someone can find the more specific correction about this statement. He's come straight back in, so he's trying to take it from himself.
2 secs. Did he hit Lando Norris?
I'm almost tempted to take the point away from you, Josh.
You know what? I don't want it. I think you should.
No, you are correct. He didn't hit Lewis Hamilton during the race, but the fact is, the statement that I was describing was regarding the 2024 Hungarian Grand Prix. So
I
none
was
of
just
you are
about
paying
to
attention.
buzz in and say it.
Whilst Max Verstappen did have a pretty lackluster race in 2025, he had learnt from the mistakes of 2024 and wasn't up until 3 a.m. the night before playing iRacing on his sim rig.
Was that a year and a half ago? That's crazy.
I even did like a title sequence for my podcast that had nothing but his radio rants for the entire entirety
I
of the.
forgot about that.
Yeah, so that was definitely 24. Oh god.
Wow.
A good test of people's recall of the actual race, but Owain, why have you buzzed in after the question's finished?
2 secs. Actually, it wasn't a video game initially, as you initially referred to it. It's actually a simulator.
I'm going to move on. Papaya rules, more like papaya drools. The Italian Grand Prix was marred by late team orders from the McLaren after Lando Norris was instructed to move aside for an informed teammate, Oscar Piastri. Tom Horrocks has buzzed in.
2 secs. Was it not the other way around? Oscar was asked to move aside for Lando.
That is correct. It was indeed Oscar being asked to move aside for Lando. It was due to a slow pit stop, which, I mean, do we really know what the whole concept of the papaya rules was for?
So the way I understand it, they did the maths, which is why there was a delay in the decision. And the reason that they asked him to move aside was because had he not stayed out for the extra lap, then he wouldn't have been undercut with the slow pit stop. So they're saying that because he gave the extra lap to Piastri, that is what put him behind Piastri with the undercut, not the slow stop. Because if he'd have stopped on the previous lap, the slow stop, he still would have emerged in front of Piastri. That's why. I still think it's wrong, but that was their rationale.
And if they hadn't swapped those two drivers over, Max Verstappen would be a 5-time world champion right now.
No, they wouldn't, because they'd just moved Piastri aside in Abu Dhabi instead. But
thank you for being reasonable about that, Tom, as opposed to every social media comment section I've seen.
Fernando Alonso had scored 12 more points. He'd be a 5-time world champion. That sort of stuff.
Yeah,
That
Lewis would be a
kind of
10-time
stuff, yeah.
champion if he had scored 15 more points, but we'll move on from that.
I was just going to say exactly what you were saying about all the comment sections, which is that I thought they swapped them. Although Tom's reason was completely true and logical, but I think it's because they wanted Lando to win the championship.
Absolutely.
You know, calling that World Championship hotline was, I think Zach probably came into Australia thinking, that's a good line. I'll keep that in my back pocket for Abu Dhabi. You know, when I ring Lando.
I've seen photos of Zach Brown on the corner in Brazil pouring water on that curb, so I'm fully behind the conspiracy theory.
I want to know what happens to the hats that they would have made if Max won his fifth. Because for Lando and Oscar, they just keep the same hats.
Plus, they wouldn't have made them for Oscar anyway, because they were going for Lando.
Yeah, but they because Lando's hat didn't say Lando, it just said champion. So there is a box of Red Bull 5-time Max Verstappen world champion hats that they're just going to keep for next year somewhere.
Are they going to like just put a little red marker pen on the gap between on the bottom half of the
Yeah.
five, or if it's anything like the NFL, they'll send them to charities in the developing world.
We'll move on to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. A smooth operation from Carlos Sainz at Baku gave the Ferrari reject his first podium with his new Williams team. Starting in third, Sainz managed to fend off Kimi Antonelli all race before finishing third as well.
Oh, two secs, Ted. He didn't qualify. He qualified higher. He lost the place.
That is correct, and Josh gets a point. You know, I think officially now you've done a lot more than Franco Colapinto managed to do in the Alpine. But yeah, you were right. Carlos started in P2, but was passed by George Russell in the Mercedes. Honestly, it was just so good to see Carlos Sainz on the podium again. I think after everything he went through last season with everybody saying, Ferrari don't want you. And then, you know, Ferrari didn't need him.
Still the most recent Ferrari winner.
Yeah, he's had the season Lewis wanted.
Rundown of the scores with 2 questions left to go. In tied second place is Owain and Josh with 3 points, but clearly in the lead now with 6 points is Tom Horrocks, meaning at this point it's the fight for P2. You know, it's the Ferrari and the Mercedes of 2024.
Can Owain and I team up and combine points?
I'm down for it.
It's not in the rules, but then there's only 2 rules to this game, so maybe.
If I come second, does that mean I get like a better handicap next year when we do this? Do I get my wind tunnel time or something?
Yeah, less if you finish higher.
Yeah, you do get less. So, you know, Josh would be the one to get a 5-point lead, I think.
Yeah, I'm doing what Ferrari did, which is intentionally drop down so that they can get more wind tunnel time. That definitely happened.
Well, Alpine have already won the championship then, if that's the case.
Viva Las Vegas. That is, unless you were driving for McLaren. After finishing on the podium at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri were both disqualified from the race due to a skid. Tom Horrocks has buzzed in, beating Owain by 0.17 milliseconds.
I actually might be wrong. I might be misremembering. I don't think Piastri, 2 secs. I don't think Piastri finished on the podium.
You pulled it right out of the bag there, Tom, at the last possible second. You are correct that Piastri was not on the podium. His provisional result of 4th promoted Kimi Antonelli and Charles Leclerc, and the former receiving his own penalty for moving prior to the start signal. So now the fact is, Owain, it doesn't matter if you two combine your points. You're not beating Tom.
Oh, yeah.
As we go into the final question of this game. Unfortunately, it is not a decider in the desert. It is a who finishes second, or does Tom extend his lead even further? So let's talk about Abu Dhabi. The end of the 2025 Formula One season signalled the end of the ground effect era of regulations, and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was the final race in which Tom Horrocks has buzzed in.
I'm being really pedantic. It's not the end of the ground effect era because all cars are ground effect. It's the end of the Venturi tunnel era.
This is not the correction that I was going for. So,
but it's still a correction, so I'm taking it.
It's still a correction. You can have that moral victory if you want, but what I'll do is I'll continue reading the statement. The end of the 2025 Formula One season signalled the end of the ground effect era of regulations, and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix was the final race in which DRS was used. DRS, or drag reduction system, was first used by Jenson Button in 2011, with Kimi Antonelli being the last driver to perform a DRS-assisted overtake in a Grand Prix. Josh has buzzed in.
2 secs. I don't think Jensen was the first driver to use it.
That's not correct.
Ah.
I mean, it is correct, but he's the first one to use it in a race. It was used in qualifying by someone else, and it's a very misused stat. But anyway, sorry, I'm gonna.
No, it's good. I was right, sort of.
Owain's buzzed in.
2 secs. Kimi Antonelli was the last driver to use DRS, but it was not for an overtake. He was just the last driver to use DRS.
That is in fact correct, meaning Owain gets a point. Do you know who it was that completed that successful overtake?
Is it Lando Norris?
No, it's not Lando Norris. It is the meme lord himself, Lance Stroll.
Hey!
All roads lead to Lance.
All roads do indeed lead to Lance. But yes, what that means is our final scores are in third place, but still on the podium, is Josh Weller with 3 points. In second place with 4 points is Owain Medford. And our winner of this episode is Tom Horrox. Congratulations, Tom. You had 7 points. Anything you want to take this opportunity with your celebratory interview?
Vindication. No, I've got nothing to say. Thank you. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for putting that together, Ruby. That was a very, very fun experience. So, for once, I'm actually done well at a quiz because I never do well at quizzes.
Fantastic. Well, to emulate another awkward element of the F1 broadcast experience, Owain, as second place winner, is there anything you want to say to your competitors?
I'd just like to pan slowly in really interruptingly to my partner. Everyone needs to see that, and beyond that, no, that's it. That's all I got.
Josh, as the third place and our special guest for this episode, anything you want to say?
I was really happy to lose. So it was those were difficult questions. What do I want to say? I want to thanks to everyone back at the factory for putting in all the work. And we don't see them. We don't see their faces, but they're the ones who are there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And without them, I wouldn't have been able to get on the podium. So thank you. Oh, and I actually should plug my stand-up comedy special, shouldn't I? That's actually something I should say. It's on my stand-up special just came out and it's on YouTube. So please, it's called Josh Weller, which is me, and it's called Live at the Bill Murray. So and to anyone listening, you don't just click on it. It counts as a view. That'll do me fine. Thank you.
Click on it, give it some of those engagement stats like the thumbs
Oh my
up
God.
and things like that as well.
Thumbs up and the bell, which I don't know what that does, and then the subscribe, and then hit the say, hey, this is so good. This is much better than your Formula One knowledge. It's anything like that. Great.
I'm going to comment that verbatim now.
Okay, great.
Please do. It'd be hilarious. But yes, no, that's all from us here on Grid Talk. Be sure to tune in next time, and we'll see you once again very soon. Thank you very much, and goodbye.